Hello guys, thank you so much for joining us today. As above, so below. This is Mars Energy and this is on this live we teach universal laws. I do not teach my personal beliefs or my practices, but I teach universal laws because, sir, ma'am, those things are applicable to each and every one of you guys. If this is your first time in my live, my name is Chief Apostle Samuel Jr. I'm the apostle and pastor of Apostolic Faith of Jesus Christ Incorporated, and my beliefs are deeply rooted in the ATR. Those are African traditional sciences by which we harness, direct, and disperse energy, frequency, and vibration. And I try to teach melanated people that are in the church that practice the ATRs. And I try to also teach those that have left the church, probably for good reason, but they still practice the ATRs. To each and every one of you guys, as you are chiming in, I want to say thank you so much. First of all, salutations to my Madrina, to my Padrino, and to my Oba, and to all of my brothers and sisters in Ifa, Voodoo, Santeria, Lukumi, Congo, Palo, Mystic, and Ajays. To each and every one of you guys that are here to learn what real magic and real spirituality is. I have been doing magic since I was in elementary school, and now that I'm 51, and in December I will be 52 years of age. I want you guys to understand that when it comes down to magic and spell work and craft, it's having an understanding how energy operates not only on the earth realm, but how it operates in the extraterrestrial realm or the celestial bodies, and we're doing planetary magic and anything that is outside of the earth realm and dealing with the solar system. A lot of times when it comes down to spirituality, especially if you grew up in the church, this is why I teach these things, because a lot of times people do not realize in the church world, while they're demonizing the ATRs, they're starting to realize that a lot of the stuff that they are talking about, whether it is in Voodoo or Lukumi or Congo, or whether it is in Santeria, or whether it is in any of these other ATR, that we see a lot of the similarities of those workings or those manifestations or those behaviors in the church world. The dancing, the praising of God or goddess, the simple fact of knowing the power of prayer. All these things are essential. So therefore, as we grow and become illuminated as melanated people, we have an opportunity, sir and ma'am, to grow in reality and in truth. Now, those that do not know, I'm a Sagittarius. My moon is in Aries and my rising sign is Pisces. And one of the things that I have done on this live is that I have interjected a lot of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, giving people the opportunity, no matter who they are, that they get the opportunity to interact with somebody that has been utilizing and exemplifying magical properties all throughout my practice. I want to say, first of all, hello to my Pisces, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Aquarius, Cancer, Capricorn, Leo, Sagittarius, Scorpio, Libra, and Virgo. Hello to each and every one of you guys. As we get ready to do our live on tonight, this is Tuesday. This is Mars Energy. I try to teach people how to utilize those energies in their everyday practice and their everyday life, giving themselves an opportunity so they can have a better understanding. Now, I do realize, depending on your practice, whether you're intermediate, whether you're advanced or you're a beginner, sometimes even those that are sitting on the sideline and they're observing, they do not realize that a lot of the stuff that I talk about is talking about from experience. This is not book knowledge. This is not me regurgitating information that I have heard or saw on the internet. I want to say to each and every one of you guys, give yourself an opportunity. Candy girl, bless your heart and love for you. God bless you. Thank you so much, Candy. Thank you so much for joining us, Monique Fofofo. To each and every one of you guys, I do realize that people are having a hard time understanding that encouragement needs to be based in truth, not in flattery or somebody. And this is what is happening around the globe with people that not understanding what allows me to be where I am, and how I try to encourage other people to walk in their own personal truth, not my truth, but their own personal truth. What's up there, my Natasha Foster, my aphrodisiac from North Carolina? Thank you so much for being with us on today. I do realize that I am being challenged by YouTube. I am being challenged by TikTok because of the various information that I am teaching and sharing, and I'm going to continue to share those things, because at the end of the day, as long as God supplies my needs according to his riches and glory, I will be fine. It is not popular, but it is a necessity. I'm going to be discussing some stuff on today because I want people to understand why returning back to your roots is so essential, and that you getting yourself prepared for what is to come. And I'm going to give you a reason other than somebody telling you you need to do something. And all those that have been following me know that I let grown people make their decision. And hopefully I'm giving you enough information that you will make good judgments when it comes down to you and yours, okay? I want to say oftentimes that when people are hearing me teach, they try to assimilate themselves with somebody that has been doing magic in a fully committed relationship. And a lot of times most people are part-time in their spirituality. A lot of people are not fully committed into spirituality, and so therefore I feel like you do yourself a disservice when you don't consider who you are and what you're doing and what you're trying to get out of spirituality. This is my lifestyle. This is what I would do whether I was on social media or not. This is something that I would be doing whether I got paid or not. This is something that I live for, okay? So yes, I would get up every single day, no matter whether it was up on a Democratic or Republican, whether I was in the United States or I was in Florida, no matter where I was, I would be doing magic. When I'm going out hole hopping, I'm still doing magic. So I'm just saying how serious it is with me. My subject on tonight, because this is Tuesday, and this is going to be very essential to growth and development. And I think that sometimes people feel like they've heard so much information that they know. Let me explain something to you. I don't care how much of my lives you get, until you start implementing and applying that, you're not going to, it's just information. Until you apply it, it is not knowledge, it is not wisdom, it's not understanding. We all done heard if you make your bed hard, you're going to sleep in it. Until we start living those life and acknowledging our mistakes, that's when those things become real and relevant in our life. Other than that, sir, ma'am, all you're getting is information. Until you start applying these principles, until you start applying these universal laws, that's when you start seeing why I do or do not do the things. Okay? So I want to talk about tonight is, this is very, very good. It says, the world our words create and we live in. The worlds that we create with our words, and we live in those words. And I'm going to break this down so that you will have a better understanding, no matter where you practice at, what you practice in, and why what comes out your mouth matters. Who you listen to, what words you allow to come into your ear. This is why a lot of people get in situation with me, is because I don't live in the world you live in. I live in this earth, but I don't live in the world that you live in, and I don't consume the type of words that you consume on a day-to-day basis. There are certain conversations, because I live in abundance, I live in a world of healing and protection and deliverance, that I would not allow certain things to take place or certain conversations to be had with me, because that I know that words affect my world. And if I'm not in agreement with what is coming out of your mouth, even though the Bible said from the abundance of the heart the mouth speaketh, a lot of times people that live in a world of lack and deficiency and struggle, a lot of times you allow those people to have conversation with you, and those words that they speak about, no matter, they looking at the same thing that you're looking at, but they're going to speak from the words in their world. Okay, so we're going to be coming from Hebrews, the 11th chapter, verse 3. What's up, Boaz in the house? Well, thank you so much for joining us. Now, I'm going to show you how significant this is. It says, through faith, we understand. So through faith, we get clarity that the worlds, this is when it says earth, everybody's faith based off of their understanding creates a different world. It doesn't matter if you're an Ephah, it doesn't matter if you're a Christian, it doesn't matter if you grew up with the same mother and father, it doesn't matter. When you are walking out your faith, depending on your level of understanding and clarity, you create a world. It says that the worlds were framed by the word of God, so that the things which are seen were not made of the things which do appear. So the things that appear in my life are based off of the things that I'm constantly talking about. I'm constantly declaring out of my mouth. Let me explain something to y'all. This is not positive thinking. A lot of you guys may hear an inspirational word or a word from somebody that you deem necessary or important to you. What's up, my jelly sweets? Let me tell y'all this. When you living in a world that you believe that you are more than a conqueror, when somebody comes around you and they start talking about what they can't do, what's too big, what's too much, these are the things that should trigger you. And this is why I say oftentimes that when people are trying to talk to me, they don't realize the world that I live in. I don't live in a world of lack. I don't live in a world where racism has a power over me where I can't get the things that I have need of. I don't live in a world where just because you are my opponent doesn't mean you're my victor. I'm going to say that again. Just because you are my opponent doesn't mean that you are my victor. In other words, just because you are opposing me don't mean you're going to get the victory over me. I don't believe because somebody sets themselves as an enemy or opposition to me, no matter who they are or how many are there, that I believe that you're going to subdue me. I don't believe that. And so therefore, when people talk about who's against them, whether it's a judge or whether it's a lawyer or a jury, I do not live in those worlds. My world is framed by the people that taught me about what the power of prayer can do. My world was framed by people speaking into my life and telling me that I was more than a conqueror. People telling me about my destiny. These are the things that allow me to live in a world around other people. And let me tell you something. You got to ask yourself this question. What makes your world turn? What are you fueling your world off? What type of words have you allowed to govern these aspects of your life? And no matter who comes along, whether it is for you or against you, it determines where you are, what you receive or what you reject. The world by definition means the earth, together with all of its countries, people, and natural features. So what am I saying here? Depending on who you allow to speak in your life is why you assimilate with the type of people, why you go to the places that you go, why you interact with the energies that you interact with. And this is what I try to explain to people. It doesn't matter what you say about yourself. If you're not living by the words that are coming out of your mouth, the Bible says, if my words abide in you, then you can ask what you will. If you're not living by these concepts, and these are not the governing factors or governing facts in your life, then you're going to live the world, and you're going to live in a world where chaos abides, and somebody can easily disrupt your peace. Somebody can easily distract you. What I see in magic is that people are not governing themselves. People are not in control or rule over their spirit. And so they feel like what is going on in the world affects their world. Because what makes your world turn don't make my world turn. And so therefore, I tell people oftentimes, take what I say with a grain of salt, because you might not be willing to renew your mind like me. You may not be willing to declare certain things. You may not be willing to accept certain challenges to bring you in a better place in your world, in your reality. But I will. I'm 51, about to be 52. So, I want to discuss this. This is going to rattle some cages. We had an awakening, and we're still going through that awakening. And anybody that's having a spiritual awakening realizes that it's a process. It's not something that just happens one day and all of a sudden that you're no longer in that awakening. It's a process. Awakening is an enlightenment. And so where I'm trying to gear melanated people in magic and spell work and conjure, I am trying to get them to understand that there are certain things And there are certain people's worlds that they live in, and that you're encountering those worlds. And I thought I thought this was very significant when it came down to the election. And I want y'all to hear these stats. These are not Apostle Ely stats. These are stats that that America puts out. And maybe you know this and maybe you don't know this. And I'm going to explain why I'm doing this in a moment. The leading murderers in America are white men. The leading robbers in America are white men. The largest amount of rapists in America are white men. The highest number of domestic violence are white men. The greatest number of drug dealers and drug pushers are white men. The greatest threat to the United States and democracy is white supremacy, which consists of white men. Why are you bringing that up, Apostle Ely? This is the moral standard that we have allowed as melanated people to demonize us as men and women. These are the people. Because we just can't talk about the Latino people, the American Indian people. We can't just talk about the Cuban people. We got to talk about what we have allowed through church and through ministry and through societal norms to determine what is proper and what's right and wrong. When this particular person overall is morally corrupt. And when you understand why white men predominantly can vote for Donald Trump, it's because they can relate to the murder. They can relate to the robbery, the thievery. They can relate to the rapist. They can relate to the domestic abuser. They can relate to the pedophile. That's what I forgot to put down there. They are the highest number of pedophiles. They are the greatest number of drug dealers. And they are the greatest threat to the United States well-being, which is white supremacy, which is patriarchal, which is still the white man. And so therefore, I'm still trying to understand why black men and black women are not understanding why this white man is constantly trying to destroy what we call and what we are as melanated people, and why we're supposed to be operating with nature. I'm going to say this. Somebody say, okay, make sense. When you look at the stats, and I know I'm going to say some stuff, and I hope y'all do share this. When a white woman births a male child into this earth realm, she has the highest percentage of birthing a murderer, a robber, a rapist, a domestic abuser, a pedophile, a drug dealer, and a white supremacist, if not all in one body. I want you to think about that. The energy, when you are procreating with an energy or person, and you're sharing in their ancestry, and you're trying to figure out why in your world there are certain things that you would not even think about doing. It has nothing to do with Christianity. There are certain things that you feel in your world that is proper, right, wrong, or indifferent. But then you're trying to figure out what is it about this man that they particularly keep looking up to. But he represents predominantly what is in their culture and what they experience. So I'm going to give you something that my mother told me when she was in high school. And she was in the girls' locker room. And you know, those that have been around white people talk. White boys talk, white girls talk. So she's in her locker room. So they're having girl talk while they're getting dressed for gym. So the white girls are talking about the first man that they ever slept with was their father. So they turned around to my mother and they asked my mother, was her father her first? My mama said, my mama was a cusser. So she was like, hell no, my dad ain't never touched me. She did not realize how many white girls in her PE class had already been touched by their biological father. Incest is real. So when you hear about a Matt Gaetz or you hear about certain things, it is not pedophilia. It is not something that white women don't know about. They know, just like they say, my mom told me, every mother knows their child. You worried about your son or daughter being gay. They not gay and a murderer. They not gay and a thief. They not gay and a rapist. They're not gay and a domestic abuser. They're not gay and a pedophile. They're not gay and a drug. There's a lot more you could be worried about as a black mother about what you producing on planet Earth. So I have this cousin, like I said, my family done did a lot of crookery, so I know a lot of stuff. So I had this cousin. I have he's my cousin, but he's older than me. We more or less have more like a brother relationship than we have cousin relationship. So he was in jail. So they were going through therapy in jail, and so the white boy was talking to him. So they were dealing with their mother. His mom was on drugs, and so my cousin was talking about the stuff that he was dealing with, and so he was gonna share with this white boy about what he went through with his mom and how his mom on drugs and how she didn't really raise him and his grandma raised him, blah blah blah. That was my cousin's story in his world. The words that shaped my cousin's life, that's what it was. So the white boy ended up talking before he did. And he talked about how he was sleeping with his mother. And that when she got a boyfriend, he was upset. And when you hear white boys calling their mother out their name, most of us in our world, we cannot imagine, for the most part, of calling our mothers out their name. But when you are sleeping with your son, and he started calling you hoes and bitches, this is what I'm saying. Statistically, this is normal. There are more accounts of incest in Caucasian relationship. That doesn't mean that every white woman or every white man is doing this, but these are the people that you're trying to emulate. These are the people that American Indians are trying to emulate. These are the people that Latino men are trying to emulate. And then you're trying to procreate the Asian people. And you're not understanding what is in their nature, what is in their world, and what is normal. What kind of conversation that they are having. And just because you're not having those conversations in your world does not mean that is not going on in their world. And so therefore, when they went to the voting booth, they did not see a liar. They saw themselves. They did not see a rapist. They saw themselves. They did not see a pedophile. They saw themselves. They did not see a drug dealer. They did not see any of that, because it's a reflection of them. And they still feel, in spite of all that they do, they are yet superior. This is the mindset. This is the world that these people live in. And when you're trying to have a conversation with somebody about a world that they live in, that they created a system to induce and promote that world, you're not going to get anywhere. This is why you need your conjure. This is why you need your protection. This is why you need to reinvent and renew your mind. Stop trying to be like these people, and then you wonder why certain things start happening in your family. I remember my son telling me one time, he's like, oh, why you don't treat us like white kids? I said, because y'all don't act like white kids. A lot of times, y'all, let me tell y'all something, whether you want to admit this or not. I want you to look at these stats. And I want you to think about my background. If this is true, and these are the stats, how many white men, like the president, has not been held accountable for the very same acts attributes and the acts that we just got discussing. And this is the man that you're trying to do conjure on, that's your supervisor. This is the man that you're trying to do conjure on, that is your manager. This is the man that you're trying to do conjure on in his world about getting a loan. This is the man that you're trying to have a conversation with when he lives a total different life. He lives in a total different world. And I don't know how many times I got to tell black people this. I don't know how much evidence do I have to present. When that judge sees that white boy after killing us, he still sees him as having a chance to become something in these United States. See, murder does not stop a white man from being successful in these United States. Robbery and theft does not stop a white man from being successful in these United States. Being a rapist does not stop a white man from being successful in these United States. Being a domestic abuser does not stop this white man from being successful. Being a pedophile. We seen when Roy Moore, you seen how these people fought for him to become the senator. And you in your mind, you're like, what's wrong? They do not see nothing wrong with that. You, in your world, you see something wrong with that because those are the words that you were taught. Those are the words that you were shown. That was the teaching that you received. But that is not how they operate. What's her that my Stormy, my Sagittarius from Detroit? When I try to explain that when I'm dealing with caucasity, I understand who I'm dealing with. What's up, Minister Al? You telling a voter that Donald Trump's a liar when her lived experience in her household is being lied to, being molested, being violated. And he's still successful. He still became the circuit court judge. Kavanaugh still became a Supreme Court justice. See, when you're black and you have these strikes against you, it hinders your success. It hinders your favorability. It hinders your range of assets. See, you're telling your child that they're equal in a system that is clearly. See, when that young white boy killed them people in that church, I think he killed about 8 people. Those white men, they took him to go get something to eat because they didn't see a murderer. This is why when they get into the judicial system, this is why there's programs that are going to constantly give them an opportunity to get back in society. Yes, I know you raped her. No, it's not money. It's not money. There's poor white men and poor white women that are still benefiting in these United States. Not just money. There are poor people, white men, that this society is going to, I don't care what they have done, they're going to still give them an opportunity to be in some form of management. I don't care how he's cussed his mom and how he's stolen from her. They still want to see him as some type of managerial, some form of success. That is not how black men and black women are looked upon when they become a murderer or a robber or a rapist or a domestic abuser or pedophile. Because we, in our world, we are very hard on our people. It is very hard for us to overcome certain things in our culture, no matter what religion or faith we are in. But that is not the culture that white people live in. That's not the world they live in. Do you not know that And I was, because I watch The View a lot. And there are two white women on there, Sarah and Alyssa. And it's hard for me to listen to them because they in their white world. And I don't care how much information you get, and you're still living in a world that makes you immune to walking in the department store and being automatically, because white people believe in projection. They the real thieves, they the real murderers, they the real rapists, but they will project that energy or those ideas on other people, places, and things. Because in their world, white is right. This is why in your school system that white child can act up and then he or she is not punished. But then your child acts up, then they're immediately sent to the principal's office. I just like what the boy shot up the store with an AR-15 in his hand, and it was black man. It would happen. Exactly. But this is the thing. We know what we're experiencing. But when I talk to melanated people, they're constantly evaluating themselves by these standards, these false standards that white people have of themselves, and then they allow these people to pass opinions that actually affect black people. Black people got to first acknowledge that they are being affected by these people. And you have allowed them to demonize your own ancestry and make you feel ashamed of your own practices, and out here demonizing other black men and other black women that are openly practicing because of what some white woman said or because of what some white man said. When statistically, they are morally bankrupt. And they didn't just get morally bankrupt. They've always been morally bankrupt. These United States have gone into other countries and caused mayhem. They have went to each country and robbed, stole, and pilfered. And this is the standard that you're telling your black man or black child, this is what I want you to be in America. No, what you need to do is how to protect yourself. What you need to do is understand who you are. And if you're going to intertwine with that race, I'm talking about sexually and bringing kids, you need to know what you're indulging in. You need to understand why they have mental and emotional breakdowns the way they have. Because they are dealing with stuff and traumas in their own race, in their own, and they are lying about it. Because they're trying to protect their dad because their dad is the mayor. They're trying to protect their dad because their dad is the sheriff. Yes, he's been molesting her since she's been 2 and 3 years old. But he's also providing for her. Yes, she's talked to her mother about it. And her mother's not going to leave her husband. This is the stuff that you are trying to emulate. When you don't know what's inside of somebody's world. I am 75% Native American. You're not lying about that at all. Thank you so much. Let me tell y'all something. This is the only culture that steals other people's culture and would not acknowledge that they got other people's culture. And black people to this day and every other ethnic group will sit there and argue with them and say, no, that's not where that comes from. They don't care what you say. They still think they have something to do with Egypt being built. If everything about your existence is built on a lie, the truth is dangerous to you. And I told y'all when Kamala Harris got on that when that Kamala Harris, that black Asian woman, because when she did what she did, she was a nigger. I'm telling y'all how the white men interpreted that. I'm telling you how the American Indian interpret that. I'm telling you how the Latino man interpret that. They saw that as a affront to their manhood. And they were going to show that nigga bitch through that vote what she want. They were going to use that to humble her. Y'all don't understand. They're not interested in the truth. I'm going to say it again. I'm going to say it real slow. They are not interested in the truth. My case in point, before you were ever born, they were presented with the truth. And they still lying to this day. They are not unaware of the facts. They are not just interested in those facts. I'm going to say that again. When you're trying to do your cultural magic, your cultural spell work, and you don't understand, the greatest thing you can do when you walk in a company of those type of people is ask your spirit, your ego, whatever it is that you strive to, is to protect you from lying and a deceitful tongue. Because that's what he has and that's what she has. When they were talking about Joe Scarborough and Mika Brzezinski going there, let me tell y'all something. Donald Trump put Joe Scarborough on blast about Mika. Right? Joe Scarborough went and bought Mika a ring. Never married her. They ain't married to this day. And she's still being successful. She's still writing books. How many people can steal in spite of what is obvious? There are people out here still got nursing license that done kill people. There are people out here still got doctors still a doctor and practicing medicine and have literally killed. They are the cause of the death of individuals. And they are still practicing successful businesses. Only in America. Only in these United States. Look at all the things that Rudy Giuliani had to go through just to lose his license. If that would have been a black man or black woman or any other person, they'd have been lost their license. I'm going to say this again. If you don't know how to operate in your world and you come and have to deal with the world of those people and you think that truth is going to matter, and there's certain spells that I use when I go around them people. Protect me and guard me from a lying and deceitful tongue. What they care about telling a lie? I have supervisors on my job that have failed as a driver and got promoted as a supervisor over drivers. And what you were unsuccessful as a driver, and now they're going to put you as a white man over drivers that were successful, and now you're going to reprimand and discipline them for whatever you find as a failure or a non-compliance? Only in America. I'm talking about right now. I got to go to a meeting on Thursday. And the reason, it's hard for me to digest you sitting here judging another driver that were more successful than you were, but you get to sit in the seat of judgment only because you got Caucasian skin. And this is why I'm telling you, they are never going to disrupt. What's going to bring down white supremacy is truth, and not their truth. Us coming together when Latino people stop denying their blackness, when Cuban people start denying their blackness, when American and Native Americans start denying their blackness, all of these are African descent or melanated people, while we're able to work with the elements the way that we do. And when we stop doing our shiggity, because we be with the bullshit. Because can't nobody keep you suppressed when the truth of the matter is, when everybody come together, we are the majority. We are the majority. But you letting a small group of people, because you're sitting there and allowing these parasitic individuals, because you honestly think that their word is their bond. No, their word is to fool you. We have this thing that they got going on right now. All of those black people, Candace Owens and Tim Scott and all those other coons that were out there doing all that coonery for Donald Trump, and he ain't gave now one. And guess what? Guess what? They don't. Them black people don't have a problem with that. But if there had been a black boss or black president-elect that did them like that, they'd be out there bad-mouthing in there. I'm talking about what we do. I'm talking about what we do. And while we need our conjure, I am trying to reinforce as much as I can, giving you stats. Stop measuring your son by that white boy, because it's not fair. Because no matter what that white boy has done, and he can fall in every one of those categories, they gonna still get, especially if he young. When you see a white boy in prison, he done destroyed every opportunity them people try to give him. Always when it comes to a white man and he doing wrong, it's always a mental health crisis. When a black man do wrong or a black boy do wrong, it's jail time. When it comes to a white boy or white girl, it's always about rehabilitation. And you go for it. No, I'm not talking about the system. I'm talking about you as a parent go for that. Huh? The Supreme Court justices are out there making decisions for American people, and these people have done so much corruption, and they are influencing the laws of the land. And you looking for fairness? They got mad when Barack Obama wore a tan suit. They got mad when Michelle Obama wore a sleeveless dress. This is why I'm telling you guys, do not let them do to Kamala Harris what they're trying to do. They're trying to pin that. Do not let misogyny, sexism of these men paint this woman, because that's all this is. And you keep wondering why they can overlook all that. I'm showing you the stats. Go look them up yourself. So when these other Latino men in Ifa, Voodoo, Santeria, Lacumi, Congo, they're emulating those men, why you think they are abusing their women? No other race of men stood up for their woman but the black American man. The stats prove it. None of these other, because they're all emulating that white man. That white man didn't stand up for the white woman. The American Indian didn't stand up for the American Indian woman. The Latino man did not stand. And all of their wives did just what that white woman do. They followed suit. Even though it was against their own interest. The only sect of people that voted in the best interest of all people were black women and black men. And these are the people that you are comparing yourself to, and these are the people you're sitting in front of there in Ganga. These are the people that you're sitting in front of their shrine. These are the people that are sitting in front of and when their people do something in that Elay, they're going to be treated very differently. That's why when I go into these elays, and I love my Padrino and all that, but I do not intermingle. I do my part. I do what I got to do, and I leave. I know what I'm looking at. I know what I'm dealing with, and what I am going to do, because I don't need it. Because in my world, as long as I got what I need, I can do it myself. And what I am doing, and I keep doing, is I'm trying to teach melanated people how to grow, how to develop. But you cannot do these things without the facts. Y'all think you're going to do magic. How can you do magic if you don't know what you up against? What you dealing with? What kind of conjure you doing? They question if Obama was actually from America, specifically Donald Trump. Let me explain something, y'all. How do you allow an immigrant, white man, Donald Trump, his parents, every wife he got, come from another country? Question. This is how I want y'all to understand why this does not bother them to do it. How can you, as an immigrant yourself, your parents are immigrants, question somebody else's legitimacy in these United States when you are not originally from these United States? And the only reason you can do it, because in this country, your whiteness gives you the I had a lady, she would be glad I would, because if she tried me tomorrow, she gonna get cussed out. In America, you can police the roads. You can police areas that is not your property, your name on it, you don't pay no taxes over there. If they tried this in any other country, they wouldn't make it. There's a reason why they keep flocking to the United States. Not because it's the greatest place on earth. This is where you can be uneducated and talk. Let me tell y'all something. And I'm finna say something. And I want y'all to really think about this. Sarah Haynes, which is a basic white woman, is sitting next to Whoopi Goldberg. Look at the resume of Whoopi Goldberg. Why is Sarah Haynes sitting next to Whoopi Goldberg? Joe Behar, a known comic, successful comic, Jewish descent. She deserved to be at that table. Then you got Sonny. Look at Sonny's background. Do you not know these two white women are always over top, especially that Alyssa girl lady? I can't stand that bitch. Use a basic white woman. Sonny is a prosecutor that has worked for DOJ. You don't have her resume, and this is actually her particular field that she's talking about. And you still feel like what you got to say is more important or more valid than what she's talking about. Because y'all living in them worlds. And y'all in an echo chamber about what you are listening to. And I'm just trying to tell y'all, this ain't about, people don't have to change their racism. That's not what I'm trying to get to. I'm trying to tell you what you're dealing with and why you're doing conjure and why you need to do your cleansing and why you need to do your protection. And stop going in there thinking that these people are going to tell the truth. They're going to lie to your face, and if they catch you in a lie, they're going to make like it's the biggest thing in the world. They're going to act like, oh my God, I can't believe you just told a lie. They've been lying for the last 45 minutes. We watch on the natural scale, a national stage, that the standards that were being held by Kamala Harris was not required of Donald Trump. And I want you to understand why. It don't matter that he grabbed him by the pussy. They try to paint her as a black woman that slept her way up to the top. And every black woman know that it don't care what corporation you in, if you don't do your job, you will not have that position. And the reason why the white men can tell you or say about Kamala Harris that she slept her way because Mika slept her way with Joe. Huh? Nurses now sucking doctors' dick while they supposed to be doing heart surgery on your mom. they getting high. White people are always projecting on black and other races of people what they do to get where they at. So therefore they think everybody doing. A liar think everybody lying. A cheater think everybody cheating. This is their history. Stop going for it. And it starts with the little things. Them skipping you in the line. It starts with the little things. Them pulling in the parking lot. It starts with the little things. Because it progresses. That white lady came out that house like she was paying for that whole street. And I can't wait to tell her ass off. But I'm explaining where it comes from. It don't matter if they got money. They all feel that way. They can be in a trailer. I done been delivering in trailer trash areas. And they still have the same behavior. You can smell ass, piss, and dog coming out the trailer. And they still got an ass. And they feel, I had to stop one. He felt like because I told him, I said, sir, if you get on this truck, if you step on this truck, it's going to be a problem. You got a problem with me, you need to call the office like everybody else. But sir, I'm letting you know right now, if you step on my truck, because you don't own this truck and you don't own this road. You can feel how you feel, but you need to feel that over there. Because if you get on my truck, it's going to be a problem. Call the office, they got my number on my truck. I'm the only black guy here. If you get on my truck, sir, I'm letting you know, I told him 3 times. It's going to be a problem. I might be a good looking man, but I will whoop your ass. And I don't care nothing about you being old. I don't care nothing about that, because you just thought about that before you got your old white ass on my truck with that foolishness. Because Brown going to show you what it can do for you today. I do not play with people. You can say, feel however you want about me. That's your prerogative. Once you come over there and put, as my mama say, put your dick beaters on me, that's when it becomes a problem. I ain't having that. I hope that I share something. I hope that you take this more than just, this affects your conjure. This affects your magic. And we about to live in another 4 years, if they certify this election, of emboldening white people. You got to step your conjure up. You got to educate yourself. You got to know why they do what they do. Why they support the things they support. Why they come out their house to tell you. And then don't put your children in areas where you don't have them cleansed and protected. Because they're going to be seen and perceived differently. I don't care how much education that white woman got. I don't care. Black gays are not treated the same as white gays. Not even Latino gays. We have to protect our own, y'all. It's what it is. And I am trying to give as much knowledge and factual information so it's not Chief Apostle's opinion. It's not my perception. This is what it is. These are not my numbers. These are their numbers. Don't send your daughter out there without no protection. Tell your daughter, if you and that white girl get caught, you the one going down. They're going to give Sarah another chance. Minister Mario, son of Achosi, he worked at a hospital. And he had this friend that he had been with for a while. She's a white girl. This white girl, he told me. He said, I don't even know how she still got her license. She's an RN. She done got caught stealing medicine, the pills out of the cabinets in the hospital, like and multiple times. They let her go. So she get another job. She do it again. They let her go. The stuff that these and black women watching white women think that they can go in there. Them black men think they can do what don't. Even on my job, I be saying, they be like, Sam, but they letting them white boys do that. I know, but this is. I know. I've been here longer than you have. You ain't telling me nothing new. When I'm up in the meetings, it be the same charge, and one is discipline, and the other one is let go. And I ain't got to tell you which one was discipline. But if I'm up there, I raise all kind of hell. Because I watch the unfairness. White boy get upset, he can say all change colors and all that, cuss and carry on, and you ain't even moved out your desk. You ain't even disturbed. Because that's normal to you. But a black boy, a black man get upset up in that state. Oh, you want to call out about the policies and how, decorum and all that. I see the bullshit. I'm on my own job. So don't tell me I don't know what's going on. I do. That's why I do my conjuring. I know where I go work. I know where I get my money at. And that's what I'm there to do. I'm telling you, do not send your children among these wolves and tell your children these lies about if they do right, if they do this and they do that, then they're going to be all right. That's not true. They can be doing right and get blamed for something wrong. Those 5 young men that Donald Trump put that big old ad and asked them if they should be executed, they were all innocent. DNA proved that they were innocent. But look at all the time that they served. Don't tell your children these lies. Don't tell your daughter if she go to college that she, because now that they're getting ready to affirmative action, they don't have to hire your daughter. I don't care what her degrees is. They don't have to hire black anymore. They don't have to hire Asian anymore. They don't have to hire Latino anymore. They don't have to report that stuff to the federal government anymore. Stop telling your children these lies. Get your conjure and get yourself through these adversities and know how to work and maneuver as a black man and black woman in these societies, in these worlds that we're constantly clashing into. When you get home, you live your world how you want to live it. But when you out in society, you got to deal with other people's world. They don't live in your world. They don't talk like you talk. They don't behave like you behave. I remember I was doing a ceremony one day, and I had to smoke myself and fumigated myself. And I walked in, and the white girl told me, she said, "You smell like you've been in a bonfire." I said, "I have. I have. I don't go around them parasites without protection. Because I understand, Chief Apostle understand, that I might be a good-looking black man, but I'm a nigger to them. I might be educated, but I'm a nigger. I already know that. And no matter what I got over on them, they still feel that they have a right to police me. I hope that I shared enough. I hope that you take this more seriously than what it is. I hope you do your study. I am determined to January the 10th or 20th to give you as much reason and justification to get back to your craft, to get back to your spirituality, and understand what you truly are up against. And that why it's not going to do it for you. It's not. They're doing away with certain laws so they don't have to contend with you. They can do what they want to do. It doesn't matter how much of advantage, how much property you got. They don't have to pay you for that property. And then they'll turn around and sell it. They sell it for more than what it's worth. You cannot compete with the evil, the prosperity of the wicked in these United States. It's going to take God. I'm going to say it again. The Bible said, be not envious of the wicked, their prosperity. Melanated people, consecrate your dollars towards black people. Because at the end of the day, it's a higher percentage of us that are going to look out for us. Even if we don't believe alike, even if we don't church alike, even if we don't have the same type of sex, at the end of the day, as long as I know you got this melanin and that you ain't one of them coons, I had to put that in there too. Because the Harriet Tubman had to bust a cap in some of them. If you ain't here for massa, if you ain't a puppet for massa, it's enough of us, even in my tribe, even in my church, for us to get you some help. We ain't here to use each other. We here to support each other and weather these storms that that's a coming. There's enough knowledge, wisdom, understanding, and magic. Get your membership while you can. While prices are where they are, where you can afford to get your membership, because these prices going, I'm talking about everyday cost is gonna go up. Don't be no fool and then turn around and say, well, Pastor Eli, no, you got enough time to grab at least one, if not all three. Some of y'all can get all three. But at least one. Make sure you got your conjure. Because there's going to be some shiggity out here. And you don't need no magic that got to wait for 90 days. You need a right now God. I know that's right, Minister Al. I want to say to you guys, thank you so much for your love, your support. I hope that I am sounding an alarm. I hope that I am making sense to you. I hope that I am encouraging you. This is not about disliking anybody else. I just need you to know the facts so you're making rational decisions and you start collaborating with other melanated people of like mind, understanding what we are truly about to be up against. Because just like he going after he coming for us too. He coming for us. Because it's all about us. It always has been. And it always will be until they gone. The sun ain't cooking them fast enough. Hit that like button. Hit those shares. I'm going to be sharing soon some things that I do when I'm encountering certain things. And so I'm trying to give everybody, whether you're initiated, not initiated, whether you work at the church or you work your Bible, I'm going to try to give just things that actually work, but this may not be for you. And so you still need, as a melanated person, you need something to put you in a position or at least give you a fighting chance. Because I'm some shit for to come down. And I've been warning for this for a while. But I'm getting in position. I got that stuff over there. I've been soaking in blood, getting myself ready. Because eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. That's where I'm at. And I'm trying to get prepared so I can operate on a bigger scale in a large and help more people, especially the members and people of my clientele. So thank you so much. Love you all and appreciate you so much. He said, envy not the oppressed, thine oppressor, desire not his ways. I know that's right, Mr. Al.